everybody. It is the top of the top, and we are starting this day off. As you know, your girl is always running late. It's one thing for me to get up and I'm in the house and, I'm getting ready to go live or I'm sitting somewhere and I'm structurally sound and I do not have an outside location. But it's another thing when I have to get up and actually go someplace. So if y'all give me 1 second, I'm going to share this link out and then we're going to get started because, baby, I think we may have cracked the Diageo code. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Now, somebody please alert the Henny Gang that we are live, okay? Because I can't do all of that. Hey Zoe, hey everybody that's coming in, hey everybody that's coming in. Make sure y'all are double tapping that screen. Make sure you are double tapping that screen. And let's get into today's topic. I'm gonna wait for a few more people to come up in here before I actually start talking because baby, you are not going to want to miss this. Y'all can catch it on the replay, but I know that y'all love when y'all catch it live because y'all be upset when y'all miss it. And I don't blame you because then I can't interact with you guys. But we are on our way headed into court. It is another day of me running late, but I will be there. Okay, I will be there because I'm here. We are here. We are at the financial part of everything. And yesterday, thank you, Zoe. Yesterday, okay, I told y'all that the former CFO of Bad Boy testified, okay? But during the cross-examination from Mark Agnifilo, or however you say his name, okay? During his cross-examination, there were two things that were brought up. And on the way back to the house, I was thinking about this. And then when I got an email from someone sending me something, it started making me go down a rabbit hole. And you know what happens when I go down a rabbit hole. So during the cross, Derek was asked about Derek Ferguson. That's his name, the former CFO of Bad Boy and COO of Revolt TV. Agnifilo asked him about Combs Wines and Spirits, right? And he brought up Diageo. When he brought up Revolt, he brought up Highbridge. Let me make sure I say it right. Highbridge Capital Management. Okay, and he's asking, was Highbridge Capital Management bought by J.P. Morgan Chase? And Derek couldn't answer that question as to whether or not they had. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about these two names, and guess what? I think there may have been a Diageo breadcrumb that was dropped in yesterday by the defense, but that's not going to be enough to stop everything that's been going on. Now, if you remember, I have been telling y'all that I thought that, everybody has suspected that since Diddy did that lawsuit, that they were behind this whole lawsuit stuff coming out with Diddy and people coming up and speaking out and all of that. Baby, there may be payoffs going on in the back end that we will never find out about, okay? Just like we wasn't finding out about all the details about all the stuff that we found out about in this trial, right? Right, all right. So I decided to do a little quick deep dive of my own, and let me tell you what I found out. So when Agnifilo was asking about JP Morgan and Highbridge Capital, guess what? JP Morgan Chase acquired 55% of Highbridge Capital's management for $1.3 billion. Highbridge was owned and controlled by JP Morgan from 2004 through at least 2016, okay? Giving Wall Street a direct and private line right into Revolt TV. Now, Highbridge partnered with Diddy in 2013 with Revolt TV. And they had the lead, okay? They had 40% of the seats in Revolt TV. Now, if you don't understand what that means that they had majority, okay? Which means that their majority ruled on everything. And Diddy partnered with Diageo in 2007 all the way till 2023. And that's when he partnered with them underneath Combs Enterprise. And somewhere along the lines, they ended up being Combs Spirits and Wines. Y'all follow me because this is um hold on, because did I say that already? All right. Now, where is the connection between Diageo and JP Morgan Chase? Well, it seems that JP Morgan Chase is a long time significant um, shareholder in Diageo, and the worth of their share in Diageo is $137 million. Did y'all catch that? So let me recap. Diageo and JP Morgan Chase. JP Morgan Chase holds 1.3 million shares in Diageo with a worth of $137 million. And JP Morgan Chase, they have the connection to Highbridge Capital Management that was teamed up with Diddy for Revolt. Okay? Follow me because I think we have cracked the code. That was in 2004 when JP Morgan acquired Highbridge Capital. Okay? Now, all this time, Diddy is doing dealings with Diageo. Okay? In 2023 is when, wait, hold on. He's doing deals with Diageo, and they have a tie to JP Morgan Chase. And then he's doing a deal with Highbridge, and they have a partnership with Chase. And so, when Diddy filed his lawsuit on May 31st of 2023, when he sued Diageo, what do you think happened? The lawsuit is going on with Diageo. Then November 16th, 2023, here comes Cassie's lawsuit. Then on November 17th, okay, the very next day, her state. I swear I don't miss New York. And then we're right behind it. So there's no escaping it right now. Sorry, you guys. I don't miss it either, Coco. Anyway, now that's what we were talking about, okay? So now, in December of 2023, that's when the feds began investigating Diddy. And in January 2024, Diddy settled with Diageo, okay? But he lost ownership. He settled with Diageo. He took a major loss with the liquor company, okay? Because that's when he had to fork over. That's when he had to fork over De Leon to Diageo as well in January 2024. Now, when the feds came and raided Diddy's house, that was March of 2024. And then between March and June of 2024, Diddy lost his Revolt ownership. He had to sell his stake in Revolt. And who was he selling that to? JP Morgan Chase. Highbridge JP Morgan Chase. I listen, not only that, let me tell you what else I found out. This Highbridge Capital Management place, they also had dealings with Epstein. hmm Epstein, the CEO of Barclays. Yeah. So this Cambridge Capital Management place is a major mover and shaker when it comes down to being, what are they called? Investment partners. But I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Did we crack the Diageo code or not? It's too early in the morning for this. Samaj, or whatever your name is. It's too early in the morning for this. Data elites. Thank you, Henny, for all you've been doing, giving us the updates. Well, I didn't really give y'all the update. What it was there was a breadcrumb that was dropped in court yesterday when Agnifilo had Derek Ferguson on cross examination. And when I'm thinking on that part, I'm like, why was he asking about these businesses? We were talking about business, but okay, he was really trying to harp on the Diageo thing. And then after that, they went into the whole thing with Revolt and started talking about JP Morgan Chase. And so I was like, let's play connect the dots like Pee Wee Herman used to do when we was little. And so I'm connecting the dots and boom, this is what I came up with. They wanted that out. It was so random. Right. It was so random. I believe the rabbit hole does go deeper, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm not about to go down that rabbit hole and go digging in spaces and places that are too far from me right now, okay? But at the end of the day, it is starting to look like that theory of, them being behind this or possibly putting a word out there, or maybe even, these big companies didn't want to have anything to do with him after he breached the contract. Because what you have to remember is, while Diddy had this deal with Diageo, one of the issues that was going on was the fact that he breached the contract. Okay, he wasn't supposed to ever sue them. Let me see if I can find that. Oh no, it was for breach of partnership obligations. I'm sorry, um, that was what he was suing them for. But I believe it was supposed to be like a non-disparagement that went down between the two of them. I have to go look at the paperwork again. But either way that it goes, it comes back to the fact that when this case hit, did you see the chain of events that happened? It's like this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And before, and right after his home got raided, everybody was done with him. No more Revolt, no more Ciroc, no more De Leon. It's like they said, take this 200 million and we're going to take everything else from you. We gave you wealth and now we're going to take that very same wealth away. Okay? Some people don't understand how RICO works. Okay, Sean, so since people don't understand how RICO works, why don't you give me one of the 35 predicate offenses of a RICO as it applies to this case? And AFIA, you do the same. Give me a 35 predicate offense, one of the 35 predicate offenses that apply to this case. And if you can't give me that, then you can't troll in my comments. Bye, Mary. Oh, okay. I'm not kicking people out anymore that want to say like anything about RICO or any of that. I'm asking them, like, do you know a 35 predicate offense? So I apologize to you, AFIA, but my stance still stands with you, Sean J. Boyett. And since you have not answered, I'm going to assume that you have chosen to sit quietly in the back. Because at the end of the day, you're missing everything that I'm talking about. And you keep saying that people don't understand RICO, but it's very clear that a lot of people don't understand RICO, even some of these people. And I'm going to tell you why there's so much confusion with RICO, with this RICO case in particular, is because the way RICO has been structured before, we see like with the mob, we saw like with big time major drug dealers, where there was a head and an organization of people that moved forward to commit crimes. They agreed to commit crimes. They agreed to cover up these crimes. They agreed to be an organization, a criminal organization. all right? And we were able to follow things. But even when it came down to those criminal cases, when it came to the mob, they didn't go down, but they went down because of tax evasion or somebody ratted or things like that. They didn't just go down to go down, and it was the rats that made their cases for them. Let's be real here. What we're seeing now is RICO is being used in a totally different manner. We've seen this with Young Thug, except Young Thug's RICO was a civil RICO. It was not a federal RICO. It was a civil RICO. But now we're seeing that federal RICOs can be brought against anyone. Okay? Look, they have a federal RICO against Big U. Let's not forget that there's a whole nother RICO out here that's based off of social media. So the way that the feds are beginning to use RICO is expanding into different ways. So when they say conspiracy to commit racketeering, what is RICO? Racketeering, influence, and corruption, corrupt organization, right? Thank you, Rasta Saint. You can RICO anyone. And when people are saying that we don't see the criminal organization, well, that's because you're not listening to the testimony that is being given to you. Because if you want the organization, it is in front of your face. From the first time that Cassie got on that stand, all the way up until the last assistant, Mia, talked about not even Mia, the Securus, the Securus security guard is giving you, nope, not even there. Derek Ferguson mentioned the people that would be the organization. These people, D Rock, Roger Bonds, Ruben, Uncle Paulie, KK, the assistants, everybody moved to protect the criminal activity that was going on. By taking those guys' driver's license photos and KK having them in her phone, that proves that she was moving in that manner. We're hearing a lot of the same names come up over and over again, being present when things are happening that are illegal. And here's the thing, guys, while people are running around talking about, oh, it's DV, DV is illegal. And guess what? It's violence. And guess what? It's also now being looked at as being a form of coercion. It's being looked at as a form of coercion, and it can also be looked at as acts of violence. So when I start telling people to look up the 35 predicate offenses of a RICO, it's not so much because I'm trying to be a smart behind. It's because I'm trying to get you to educate yourself on what it is that you are seeing. Because this RICO is not like the traditional RICO. And as long as people keep looking at it as the traditional RICO and keep listening to all of the salacious, scandalous aspects of it, you're going to miss it each time. Now, if you believe that he's innocent, that's you. If you want to say free Diddy, that's you. But be educated in what you're be educated. She said, okay, by textbook they have him, but do you think the jury will find him guilty? Now, I'm not sure because the jury is just like you and I. So one day I could say, oh, the defense had a good day today and they really stuck it to the government. And the next day I can come in and say, well, the defense took a L. Like I feel like they took an L yesterday. So it's all depending upon how the juries are going to look at this. Now the jury has instructions, and the jury instructions are very simple. That they are to look at the witness, the person who's testifying, and do you deem them a credible witness? Would you believe them in your everyday life is one of the jury instructions. But remember, all it takes is one juror and they have a hung jury, and a hung jury is still a win for Diddy. So anything can happen, especially the way that I'm seeing things moving down and around the courthouse. Listen, when I tell you guys that there are things that you guys don't see, or you may be looking at happening on the cameras when we're out there and we're just live filming different random things, the things that you're seeing, you may not even realize that you're seeing. Seventh Amendment, jury of peers, sometimes they get it right, sometimes they get it wrong. That's a fact. You charge anyone with anything at any time. You need to know that. That's a fact. Look at NB. Coercion can be used as SA, kidnapping. Right. So we're seeing RICO evolve from mobsters and drug dealers and, drug organizations, I should say. And we're seeing it starting to branch out into other areas that we've never seen it branch out into before. And this just happens to be one of those cases where it's branching out into a form of RICO that we've never seen before. So a lot of people are flabbergasted. They're taken back by it. They don't understand where it is. A lot of people don't even understand RICO, but now we're starting to understand RICO. And the crazy part about it is when you hear RICO being used against Diddy, the first thing that comes to your mind is, well, he's not a part of the mob. He's not a drug trafficker. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. But when you're sitting in the courtroom and you're hearing the testimony being given, and then you go back and you look at those offenses and you start listening, like really taking all of the sensationalism out of everything that's being said and taking it and applying it to those offenses, that's when you start coming up with, you start seeing, oh, all these little pieces add up to RICO. Not only do all of the little pieces add up to RICO, let me explain something to y'all. They just have to show a pattern within a 10-year span. Guess what? We have the pattern. You have the $20,000 bribe that he got from Cassie's mother, where he told her, give me $20,000 or else I'm going to drop these freak off tapes of your daughter. Then you turn around and you have the $100,000 bribe for the security guard who turned around and gave him what he thought was the only copy of the Intercontinental incident, and he paid them $100,000. That's bribery. The arson, I get it, what people are saying. There really hasn't been anything that tied him to the arson except for he's suspected to have done it. But you cannot say that he did not go to Kid Cudi's house and kick in that door when the LAPD officer testified to running the plates on a black Escalade that was at the scene of Kid Cudi's home when it was broken into. And when he ran the plates, it came back to Bad Boy. And you have the testimony of Capricorn Clark saying, hey, he kidnapped me out my house. And kidnapping in this case is not what we think of when it comes down to kidnapping in the movies. We usually think of a firearm to the head, someone being dragged, somebody being knocked out and dragged, somebody being picked up and drugged to another location. Kidnapping is taking somebody against their will when they don't want to go. And although he didn't put the firearm to Capricorn Clark's head, he had the firearm out intimidating her, and then once she said she was going and started getting dressed, he put the firearm away. The whole time they were driving to Kid Cudi's house, Capricorn Clark testified that he had the firearm in his lap. That is kidnapping. It doesn't look like traditional kidnapping, but that is considered kidnapping. Listen, let me explain something. The laws are evolving, and looking at this Diddy case, forget about if he's innocent or if he's guilty for a second. Forget about all of that free Diddy, keep Diddy stuff that's going on. What we need to look at is the fact that they are evolving these laws. We kept saying the laws need to change, the laws need to change. They are evolving these laws in new ways to where anybody can get it. To where anybody can get it. So while everybody is caught up on it's a DV case, it's not a DV case, I don't see the RICO, I don't see the enterprise. While you're caught up on all of that, instead of paying attention to the way they're laying the RICO out, educating yourself on the way they're laying the RICO out, you're having the wool pulled over your eyes. And when people are speaking and educating, people don't want to hear it. But I get it, because you have even people who are dedicated lawyers, like they have dedicated their lives to being lawyers, who can't even figure some of this stuff out. It's not innocent or guilty, it's did they prove guilty to the jury. That's just it. That's what you have to also understand when it comes down to court cases. One thing that I have realized is it's about who could tell the best story. Thank you for the thumbs up sticker. It's about who can tell the best story. It's not always about what they can prove, it's about what they can sway the jury with. So this is why people are saying, well, I don't see proof of this and I don't see proof of that. Well, guess what? It's implied. And if that implication actually sticks and sits with the jury, then it's going to stick. Because this whole thing with the arson, like I said, they even said, now the defense is the one that wanted to bring up the fingerprint cards. But because the government got ahead of them, they wanted the fingerprint card testimony thrown out because they said that it was prejudice against Diddy. Well, we're hearing about him getting out of things in LA. I'm not saying that he has connections into the PD department, but what I am saying is it's awful suspicious how during an active investigation and only a few months after the investigation, I have to go check the transcript because I'm hearing 8 months, but I could have swore I heard the following month that the fingerprint cards disappeared. But I'm going to go check the transcript so I know for myself exactly when those print cards disappeared. But the whole point of it is that they disappeared in an active investigation. And here's the other part to that. The arson investigator, Jimenez, who got up there and testified, he told everybody it's an inactive case, but it's not closed, which means that that case can be opened up at any particular point in time. And the fact that when he tried to reach out to Capricorn Clark, she didn't talk to him because she didn't want to have no parts in it. The fact that they had little to no evidence, it's very likely, it could be slim, but it's likely that they can reopen that investigation. So here's the other part to this. While Diddy may, if he, let's say he walks from this case, that does not mean that he can't get slapped with state cases for the criminal offenses that can be also charged on a state level. The other thing that a lot of people don't understand is state charges can also be applied to RICO when they are involved in the pattern of RICO as well. So people are like, oh, well, that's not RICO, that's a state offense, and da 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 da. A state charge, a state offense, can become a RICO chargeable offense if it aligns with a pattern of RICO behavior. This is all stuff that I just learned that I'm passing on to y'all, because one thing I will say about this case is that it has challenged me to actually dig deeper and have an understanding of what it is that is going on. So when I go inside of the courtroom and I'm hearing the testimony, I think back to the 35 predicate offenses while I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, I can hear that, I can see that. I'm no longer really shocked at what I heard. In the beginning, I was shocked about the damage that was being done to these rooms during the freak offs. And that's the other thing that I keep harping on with people. Y'all might be surprised. Don't be surprised, I should say, if you find out that one of the predicate offenses that sticks is the obscene matters. Don't be surprised if that ends up sticking. And if they say that they find him guilty of the charge of the offense of obscene matters, remember that Henny has been breaking that down to y'all all the way about what an obscene matter is. Remember, we took the Miller's test as a whole. And as a Miller's test, everybody was in agreement that the freak-offs are obscene matters. Predicate offenses are important to understand. Exactly, Coca. Or Coco, I should say Coco. Um, hey, goddess, is my sound better now? So yeah, when we start getting into all of this, and these are the, you guys hear me good now? It's manageable. Is that better? Well, it can't be a signal problem because I have all of my bars. Okay, so maybe I just need to flip it inside out. Well, not flip it inside out, but flip it this way. Okay. So the thing is, it's so much more than just what's on the surface. And I'm not gonna lie, there's days when I get up and I'm like, I don't even feel like going in. But I'm learning so much. It's more than just for me. This is more than just getting the Henny and bring it back to you guys. It's also me educating myself on what it is that is going on. So when we see it again, because trust me, Diddy may be the first, but he's not gonna be the last. There's going to be more to come. If y'all think that he's going to be the only mogul that faces this in this manner, you are sadly mistaken. Okay, I'm good now. Thank you, Zoe. Jay is next. I'm not sure, but what I will tell you is Jay is definitely, his camp is having issues because the daughter to his right hand woman is suing the mother and putting the mother's business out there. You can let me out right here. Thank you. Yeah, because I'm not trying to be dropped off at the front of the courthouse because they be all in everybody's business. They out there waiting for the family. Y'all, I don't want to be caught up in that. Anyway, so you guys, do you get a better understanding of what's what? But I really want to know what you guys think about that Diageo connection that I just broke down in the beginning of this live. And that was really a breadcrumb that you had to pay attention to. For real, for real. Because if you weren't paying attention, then you were going to miss it. So.
Yo, Diddy, good looking. I'm going to up it out here for you. Great. This motherfucker buy me that Benz, nigga. I will bust a cap if somebody asks me to say something about it. You done? I don't care. Straight. Okay? Diddy, get me the new Benz, bro. And I'm up in Blick, bro. My money, my soul bought, man, for a Benz, bro. I'm selling my soul for a Benz, bro. That's it. So I don't even need no gas. I don't know gas money. I don't know how I'm going to drive it. I might sell it. And then I'm going to be back out here covering the story again, Diddy. I'm sorry. Fuck it. Let's forget about it. I ain't even got the money to pay them, motherfucker. We in New York. Gas price high, y'all.
Not sell my soul for a Benz.
Gas price high, y'all. Can't do it. I need a Maybach, probably.
Is who testifying? Listen, I don't know if he's testifying. I don't know if Diddy's going to take the stand. I hit you back.
When?
Last night. See, you be 420'd out. You be jumping through different dimensions.
I damn sure do. I damn sure do. But King said they're going to update me with the thing in a minute with the so I'm going to tell the
Gotcha.
We're going to be You know what I'm saying? That's That Girl Henny. Y'all subscribe to That Girl Henny and stop acting like you don't know what the hell going on. Fuck you, me.
Hey, y'all. What's poppin'? Y'all getting on the go with Uda.
Bang, bang, bang. Make sure y'all subscribe to my girl. We outside in real time getting to
Hey, Miss Pop Knockout.
You know, we starting up. Family ain't come yet. Everybody else basically though. Lawyers, everybody pulled up already.
Yeah, they getting ready to start upstairs. They probably already did.
Today is Quincy's birthday. Quincy's birthday. He wasn't there yesterday. Maybe he took a trip.
And neither was Janice.
I'm looking to see because if he pop out on his birthday, that's big, son. You pop out there, pop travel on your birthday, bro. I think that'd be true. Big, bro.
That's true.
I think that'd be really big. You know what I'm saying? You can be chilling anywhere, but you know what I mean? This is a lot, though. It's trauma. It's a lot, though. Being in a place like this.
Yeah, you know they named Janice yesterday, right?
Who?
Why we both muted? Yeah, we had our own little sidebar.
Anybody in the city, don't let them lie to you. Chill, Diddy. Got an update. still run the city. Behind the wall.
That's a
Like my
fact.
blood beds. Yeah, my crib on me.
My traffic. Well, it's the time of day that I'm going as well.
I appreciate
There was traffic, and it's also the route that he took. Ugh.
Say yes, Isa. Say yes, Isa.
I don't know. It's a great BP. I don't know if he was talking about the vape. I'm gonna assume that you're talking about the vape and that you're not actually being explicit or however you want to call it in my live because we don't play that ish over here. Thank you, Melanated Beauty. So yeah, we are back. Look, made it here, period. So we're outside for right now, but as y'all know, I'm gonna end this live soon, and I'm gonna be going inside because I have to catch all the Henny for y'all. Okay, that's the prison bus, y'all. The vape, it's grape B pop. It's just sweet, but it's not overbearing. Okay, Miss MTA is here.
No.
My Cash App is $CANDOR111.
CANDOR 111. I said, everybody run up my colleague Cash App. We're not even playing right now. Run her up. And when you write it, the message say Una. Make sure the message say Una. Ain't no like,
Let me tell you, this little girl gonna tell me to pull my skirt down in the back. If she don't mind her damn business, I say you put on some shorts underneath your dress.
Don't run.
You
Save
don't
your energy.
need the
Save your
house
energy.
without shorts on under your
This
skirt
famous
or your
woman
dress.
though. She got kicked out the court.
Why don't you worry about you putting some shorts on first? That's what the reason why, just in case your skirt goes up, you have on biking shorts.
As a lady, you
Exactly.
conduct yourself
That's
correctly.
what you do.
You're doing it right. You're doing it right, Candy.
Candor?
Yes.
You know I love you.
Main Media got you.
Hi. Good morning. Happy hump day.
Candy, I just gotta say one thing, Candy. I seen the sketch. You made it to a sketch.
Yes.
I swear. Or a sketch. I seen the sketch artist sketch my girl Candy. Shout out to my girl Candy. You know that's my colleague, y'all. That's my colleague, bro. Listen, just give me a tidbit. What happened in the court? I know you said it. You on NBC News. You on programs. I get it. But it's from colleague to colleague. Tell us what happened when you went upstairs in the court after you done got kicked out ready and had to run back down in there to go holler at Diddy because they said he running the city. Let us know what happened.
All right. The number one thing is I have my hat on.
Okay.
New York City Transit Authority is saying good morning, Unionport.
Mm-hmm.
Just disregard. Okay.
Hold up. We got something just in. We on the CB, y'all. We on the CB. Hold on.
Okay.
She got to make sure the trains are right.
Yesterday, were you trying to give Diddy a message in court?
Yes.
Wait, she didn't finish answering
Hang
your
on.
question.
Oh, hang on.
CMC, 1 second. You are ready for the sketch? Okay. So the marshal asked me, I call him USMS, USMS.
Okay.
He asked me to take my hat off.
Okay.
Now, over and over and over, I've been asked to take my hat off.
Mhm.
Women are allowed to wear their hats inside the courtroom. Men can wear their hats if it's for religious purposes.
Yes.
So I say, well, I'm not supposed to take my hat off. And he says, I'm telling you, you need to take your hat off. Then he gives the speech to everybody that survived to make sure you act appropriately in the courtroom or you will be removed.
Mhm.
He said, if I have to tell you and have this conversation with you a third time to me, then you're going to be removed. So I was quiet. I even did a little sketch. I drew Diddy from the behind when he had his salt and pepper hair.
Okay.
He had on the same color brown that I had on my hat, sweater, and I guess it was cashmere and a white collar shirt. And I drew every crease. I can show you better than I can tell you. However,
I know your art is great too.
Yeah. Long story short, fast forward.
Mhm.
I sit there quietly. I look at my watch and say, "Oh, I have an 11 a.m. dentist appointment, so I need to leave." So I gather my bag. Flat to white. All right. So I could turn this down, but it's in my bag. Hang on. All right. So I get my things to go to my appointment, and as I'm leaving, the same U.S. Marshal that told me or directed me to take my hat off was holding the door open for me, like as if he saw me getting up he was going to hold the door, and he held it open. He was on this side holding that left door open, and I like said to him, "You don't have to hold the door for me, you racist."
Okay. Okay, you went up. You
Why
just
you
turned
call
up.
him racist?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because I've been accosted in this court building. I had to write a report on the U.S. Marshal a week ago, over a little over a week ago. They never generated a report number. He grabbed my umbrella. He was shaking it, and it's all on camera. We were on the elevator, and he said he knew exactly who I was. He was in charge, and all of this extra stuff. They removed me from the courthouse that day.
But
They let
before that, you screamed in the court. Didn't you scream in the court?
Well, the whole bottom, yeah, let them go, because this is really for Uda.
Yeah.
So what happened was he was holding it. I said, "You racist," and then they proceeded, and that's when you see the TMZ thing. The message for Diddy was, "Diddy, you are a black man, and everybody in the courtroom is laughing at you. In every overcrowd room, they're laughing at you, and nothing is funny about this black man and making fun of him, and it's not nice." And they, and he pulled my arm. He tried to pinch it a little bit, and when he pinched it, I thought you wanted me to hold it for you, but
Listen, regardless of what he did, you know what? I want you back in that court, man. I want you
no,
back
I'm
in that
allowed.
court.
They sent a special message from Your Honorable Subramanian.
Yeah.
They sent a special message. The marshal came out in his button-up dungaree outfit, like the top part, or denim, and he said, "This is specifically from the Your Honor." He says, "You're not allowed back in my courtroom, but you may go to the overcrowd room." Hold on, Candor.
I love you. I'm coming back.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Right here, sir. Oh, right here. Mama Combs. Gotta say good morning to Mama. Crazy, you crazy.
Good morning.
Great day today, y'all. You already know Elza.
All right, y'all. So y'all got Candor, and y'all got Mama Combs going in the court. Look, we was like,
we scoop.
hurry up.
She don't want my love. I guess I gotta move on. Oh yeah. Look. Oh yeah. Oh. She don't want my love. I guess I gotta move on. Yeah, nigga, I like music. Get off my face. I ain't seen no Kelly shit. Chill. I ain't seen no Kelly. He really in the building. Hold on. She don't want my. He's still innocent. Yes, she don't want my love. Yeah. Biddy's still innocent at the moment. Homie, chill. Leave my biz.
All right, y'all. So y'all got y'all morning fill of tea. I'm going to sit with Candor later and get a conversation with her going. But that is it for this morning. I know we cutting it short, but Mama Combs is here. What happened, FYSMD? What happened? Why you got the eyes? No, that's not Diddy's girl. That is Diddy's mom. That's his mom, not his girl. What are you talking about? That's crazy work that you said his girl. Yeah, see, the only thing was while we was all over there, you saw it was just me and Oda talking to her, right? Then all of a sudden, all the main cameras started coming over there, and somebody kept like trying to boot me out. So it's like, let's not start. Let's not start. Let's not do this. We've all been in harmony down here. Let's not do this, okay? What are you talking about? Don't be weird, okay? Don't be weird. Please. Hey, Yvette. Yeah, a guy from Inside Edition. Like we were, everybody was down here vibing. Don't do that. Anyway,
it's all love. It's all good. And that's it. That's all. It was mad weird. Like, just kept inching and scooching like he's trying to cut me out of where I was standing. And then it's like all the cameras around. But I don't mind that because we all reach over each other to get, you know, to get the shot, to get the info that's coming out. We're all out here. It's just we're all on different levels. But I really feel like those bloggers who drop that information on Mia's actual identity really put a stain on the YouTubers that are out here trying to move with integrity. There's a lot of us that did not drop that information. Just because you know something doesn't mean that you always have to put that information out there. But they get so thirsty for clicks, likes, and views, and they want to be recognized and they want to go viral. I get it. Going viral means a lot as far as monetization, but you know what? If the way you go viral is not with integrity, then that puts a stain on you. And the fact that we are all sitting here in the same courtrooms, be it the main courtroom or the overflow courtroom, we're all sitting here, we're all getting along. I've sat in the presence of entertainment news. Y'all saw I've sat with Lauren LaRosa, sat with Armand Wiggins. I've sat with Lisa Everts, uh, people from People magazine. Like, you don't know who you're sitting next to that could possibly be a connection to catapult you out of the internet and possibly onto some type of bigger platform. So when we're out here, you got to conduct yourself properly. If the judge gave you an order, follow the order and don't try to go viral. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get off of my soapbox and let me get in here so that I could go get all of the good courtroom henny tea that y'all like. And I will see y'all when we go on break. High vibes to everybody's day. Remember, don't let the bullshit stick. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace, everybody.